Welcome to Cubase. This is a great DAW packed with tons of features and functions. But as is with any piece of software, it can be a bit daunting and overwhelming when you first open it up. So in this video, let's take a quick look around and get ourselves accustomed with the interface. First, let's make sure that your audio and MIDI devices are set up correctly. To do this, go to the Studio menu and then down to Studio Setup. Then navigate down to the VST audio system. And then on the right over here, under the SEO driver, this will list all the audio devices that your computer system is picking up. And SEO stands for Audio Streaming Inputs and Outputs. So it controls the audio coming in and out of your computer. There's the built-in audio output, and then this is the audio interface connected to my system, which is my Behringer Firepower FCA 610 audio interface. And I want to select that. This will ask you if you want to switch the SEO driver. Just click switch and it'll switch it to the one that you picked. And then with the rest of the settings, let's just leave these as their default settings for now. And then click OK. Now to set up your MIDI device, you go to the same section. You go to Studio, then Studio Setup. And then up here, you have your MIDI port setup. And this will show you all the MIDI-capable devices connected to your system. This is the MIDI input on my audio interface. And then this is Apple's internal IAC bus that can send and receive MIDI internally. And then this is my Novation MIDI controller keyboard that's connected to my system. And this is the one that I want to use. So with the MIDI device that you want to use within Cubase, make sure that it's active and that its visibility is ticked so that you can see it. Cool. So now that our audio and MIDI devices are set up, let's take a look at the user interface and get familiar with what we've got here. This main area here in the middle is the arrange area. All your tracks and regions and parts will be found here, and this is where you'll build up the arrangement of your song. Then to the left over here, you have your track list, and this shows you all the different types of tracks that you have in your project. And this can be anything from a combination of audio files, MIDI files, instrument tracks, plus there's quite a few of other types of tracks that Cubase supports. Then to the left of this, you have the track inspector. Now this shows you further details on the selected track. I've got this track selected here, and you can see its properties in the inspector. But if I choose another track, you'll see that it changes to reveal different settings for the track. And then this visibility section, this allows you to choose what you want to show in the track list. So for example, if I only wanted to show this first track, I could deselect all of these and it'll only show that track. So it's just a nice way of deciding which tracks you want to see. Because when you get quite a big song or project, you can have literally hundreds of tracks and you might not want to show all of them at the same time. So maybe you just want to control your visibility over here by choosing which tracks that you want to see. Now, let's go in a clockwise direction from here. At the top over here, this is your Toolbar Zone. Now, Cubase uses the word zone to sort of demarcate different panels and areas within the application. So on this Toolbar Zone, it houses a lot of functions and tools that you can use to edit your audio and MIDI. For example, here are the tools that you can use, like your pointer tool, the scissors or splice tool, and the zoom tool. And then on the end here, you've got these three icons. And these open up further panels or further zones. On the left, this allows you to show and hide the left zone, which is the inspector that I showed you over here. Then on the right panel, this hides the right zone over here. And on this right zone, it has a couple of different options you can view. You can see all the virtual instruments that you've got in your project or what you've added to your project. Then you've got the media tab that browses different media for your project, such as different instruments, some presets, or even browsing your computer system. CR is the control room. I've got this disabled, but you can activate this if you want to get more control of your mixer panel to control it more like a control room would be used in a real studio. And then you can also see the meters of the final output that's going out of Cubase. And this middle one is the lower panel or lower zone. Now, when you click this, it reveals a different panel down here with different options. By default here, it's showing the mix console, but you can also see the editor. And there's nothing selected here, but if I jump across to this MIDI region over here, it'll show me the piano editor for that MIDI region. So just depending on what type of tracks you got selected, it'll show the relevant editor here. Then there's the sampler control, and this allows you to build up your own sampler instruments within Cubase. And then the chord pads, and you can use these to help you build up different chord variations in your MIDI programming or MIDI recording. And then finally, at the bottom over here, you've got your transport control. This goes through your left and right locators for your cycle selection. So here is the left locator, and then this is the right locator. You can see if I move this, it changes its location, or you can click on it and type in a new location. This is setting your recording punch in and out points. Then you've got some standard transport controls over here. This enables the cycle mode, so it'll cycle through the selection here between the left and right locators. You've got your stop, play, and record. And then this will show you the playhead location. So as I click up here, you can see it's changing that playhead location. And then over here is your tempo for the project. And with these options, like I've shown you, you can just click on it to change the settings to accommodate the project. Next to this on the right, you've got your metronome or click. And then finally over here, you've got some output meters. There's also these little divider icons over here that if you drag out, reveal more options on these toolbars and zones. So as you can see, you can expand quite a bit more and show extra details for your project. And there's also the extra option to customize this view even further with these gear icons. If you click on this, what's ticked is what's shown. But you could choose to add extra items or remove them if you don't need to see them. So there's a gear icon on the transport bar. There's a gear icon up over here to show you different settings there. Over here as well. Here on the toolbar at the top. And then down here on the track list, showing you the different controls that you have available on your tracks, such as the mute and solo, the automation modes, and viewing of the track. And that's just going over the user interface here. When you get deeper in, you'll find that there's even further options within all these menus in here in Cubase. So as you can see, it's quite a deep application. But hopefully by just seeing this video over here, it's given you a better understanding of the user interface so that you can get up and running with the application quite fast. So this is just your standard default view, but feel free to go in and customize it further so that it suits your workflow.